Good evening, everyone. Once again, it's a Friday, 5:30 p.m. in Kuala Lumpur, and you're here joining me on the Sheila Exchange. How are you all doing under the next lockdown, by the way? Now, at a time when we are under another lockdown brought on by growing COVID-19 cases, there are many who are grumbling about being confined to the comfort of their homes yet again, right? I don't understand why. We've got enough food to eat. We've got Grab food to deliver whatever we want. And there's Lazada to fulfill our need to shop. And yet there's a whole world of underprivileged people out there who are wondering where their next meal will come from. It makes you think about complaining, doesn't it? So most often when contemplating marginalized and underprivileged groups of the urban poor, the only thing many of us really know how to do, what to do is to provide them with food and other necessities. We collect food, we go and we deliver it, we go away until the next time. However, they say it's often better to teach someone to fish rather than giving him a fish. Because when you teach him to fish, you're not only providing him with food, you are teaching him to be independent and you're restoring his dignity. And you enable him not just to feed himself, but to sell the fish to earn the income to upgrade his standard of living and, go out there, maybe one day realize his dreams. And that is exactly what the founders of the Asli Co did. They set up the social enterprise to train Orang Asli mothers to produce quality handmade products for sale so that they could provide for their families while working from home. It takes a special type of person to set up a social enterprise. And today we have one of these special people with us on the Sheila Exchange. Xin Yu, co-founder of the Asli Co, joins us this evening to speak about the journey that was started to bring dignity and independence to the Orang Asli community. Welcome, Xin. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Hello, thank you for having me on the show. And I absolutely agree with what you say. Teach a man to fish or teach a woman to fish, and they will provide for their family for the rest of their lives. And
Yeah, I read that actually in a book before, which was sort of called Half the Sky. And, it's something Mao Zedong said as well that, women are hold up half the sky. And women are often those who, when you teach them how to be independent, to earn for themselves, they always channel that back to the family. So when you teach a woman how to earn her own income, you're actually giving an entire family a better future. And so you're one of those people who had that, that idea to set up that social enterprise. So tell me, Sin, how did your involvement with the Orang Asli community first start?
let me bring you back to 2010. So it was about 11 years ago, and I graduated from my studies abroad. So many people may choose to stay on in the country where they studied in, but I chose to come back to Malaysia. And the sole reason was that I wanted to make a difference in Malaysia. I knew that maybe Australia didn't need me, but I think there are a lot of things I could do to help in Malaysia. So I came back, but quickly I got caught up with finding a job and getting onto working, and I didn't get a chance to get involved in the Orang Asli community until about 4 years later, which was 2014. And that was when I first started volunteering to build houses for the Orang Asli community. So I found out about this organization called Epic Homes. They are a wonderful social enterprise as well, and they've been operating since 2010. So it started out as a very fun thing to do. Go away for 3 days, and together with 35 other volunteers, you build a house for a family, an Orang Asli family. And they can live in that house for about 15 to 20 years, a roof on their heads, a better life for their children. So that got me hooked. So that volunteering experience was eye-opening and it was amazing. And it was also there that I met Jason, my partner in the Asli Co, and also partner in life as well. So I got really serious about it and went for more training with Epic Homes and became a specialist. So basically, we lead the team of volunteers, and so far, the two of us, we have managed to build around 30 plus houses for Orang Asli families in the 10 years and 6 years that we've been volunteering. So that was how it got started.
Right, fantastic. And so, I guess this setting up the Asli Co was sort of like a natural progression. But when did that idea first bloom? What initiated?
So we've got to know the Orang Asli families a bit more throughout our volunteering experience. It's a little bit embarrassing to say, but it took us quite a few years until we got this idea to start the Asli Co. We just needed that little push, that little stepping out of your comfort zone to start. But learning about how many kids drop out of school because their parents were not able to pay for school fees, uniforms, school bags, and so on, was actually the catalyst that led us to starting up the Asli Co. So we talked to the head of the kampong in Kampong Orang Asli Serenda at that time. His name is Sirat. And so we asked him, why do kids drop out of school? And he said that the parents just cannot afford sometimes, and it's tough in the kampong where the average household income is around 800 to 1,000, and so coming up with 100 ringgit to 150 a month per child was a stressful amount for an Orang Asli family. So, but for us as city folk, spending 100 ringgit and 150 ringgit in a weekend is like nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, so it's really, for us, we felt like really embarrassed that, we could not do anything to help. It was 100 ringgit, 150 ringgit per child. And so we thought we could do something, but donation is not a way because we know it's not sustainable. Perhaps we could help one family and one child, but how do we help more children? So in 2019 was when this eureka moment happened. We were collecting succulents at that time, little cactus plants, and so it started out with a few, and suddenly we were neck deep in succulents, and we were looking for pots to place them in. So we went on YouTube and we found out how to DIY our own cement pots. And we made one of two. We posted it on Facebook, and suddenly friends were asking us, hey, can I buy this? Can I order this from you? And that's when Jason had the brilliant idea that we could outsource this to our Orang Asli friends. He said, why not we ask them to help make it, because we can't make so many ourselves. So how about we give them an opportunity to make an income? And I was just amazed at this idea. At the time, it didn't come to me that you could actually do this. And I thought, wow, brilliant. We were so excited that weekend itself, we went to the hardware store, we bought a bag of cement, trowel, and a pail, and then we went straight to the kampong and knocked on the doors of the Orang Asli families that we've built houses for and started pitching to them, hey, would you like to make an extra income? We'll teach you how to make these cement pots and we'll help you sell them, and then you can get a side income that way. But we were also very honest with them. We didn't know whether it would work, so we told them, hey, this is a new idea, maybe you could try it out first. We will also try it out and try our best to help you sell it. And that was the beginning. After
Amazing.
yeah, after that we started selling in bazaars and working on weekends because we were both still working full time at that time. So this was a side hustle, and that was the humble beginnings of the Asli Co.
And they sort of embrace the idea of coming on being your partners in that, so to speak.
Yeah, we were very lucky to find Anissa and her family, and who are very receptive to the idea. They were friendly. They were down to making some new things to earn money. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what sort of products then did you I'm sure you increased your repertoire of products. What sort of products are sold by the Asli Co and where can they be procured?
Okay, so we started with cement pots, but we quickly moved on to handmade soaps, which are like this, look like
Ah,
clay. I will open them up and show you. And also, in the pandemic last year, we quickly pivoted to make hand sanitizers and also started teaching our ladies how to make face masks, fabric ones, and also now we have a range of sewing products. So here are the soaps. I want to show them again.
oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah, they
Really
look just
cute.
like Kue. So this is also the brainchild of Jason, who has brilliant ideas.
Well, make me feel hungry when I'm having a bath with this.
Yeah. So as we said, we've moved on to hand sanitizers as well, and also other products such as face masks,
Oh,
all
pretty.
all made by Orang Asli mothers. Yep.
Oh,
So we also do customized items as well for companies who procure them for their events and campaigns or as gifts.
and where can people contact you? How can they buy your products?
Oh, they can go to our website on www.theasli.co or go to our Shopee shop and they can find us there too. It's also called The Asli Co.
Okay. And who does the packaging, design, and marketing? So the brainchild, all these creative ideas, Koi soaps and all is Jason's, and then the packaging, the design, the marketing, advertising.
That would be me because my background is in design, and so all of these are designed by me. All the packaging, the stickers, the aesthetics are all me, the website as well. So it's a two-man team,
Mm.
two men and woman team.
And how well you have done, because I did go and look at some of the products and they were very interesting. They looked very tastefully packaged. So packaging is very important, isn't it?
Yes, it
In
is.
in
And
any case when you're selling products, right?
yes.
You know, you mentioned earlier that it took you some time and you're embarrassed that it took you some time to come up with this idea. I think you've got nothing to be embarrassed about, really, because it's the rest of us who not done anything that ought to feel a bit more embarrassed, you know. So what were the initial challenges you faced with the Asli? Because you have this ready group of people willing to embark on this idea and make the products. But what about marketing the products, the receptivity of the market, financing? What were the challenges?
Okay. So just to bring everybody up to speed about how we work with the communities, we actually work by bringing the work into the villages to the mothers themselves. And we provide all the training, all the materials, the equipment, the sewing machines, everything for them to start making an income from home so that there's zero startup cost from them. And then what we do is we pay them for each product that they successfully produce. Of course, we cannot accept defective items. And then we will then bring it back and package them and market them to individuals and corporations, put it on our shop, bring it to bazaars to sell them, and ensure that and market them to ensure that there's continuous demand for our products so that the ladies can constantly get more jobs and be paid for them. So I would say the initial challenges that we faced while with the Asli Co is how to make a balance between profit and also paying a fair wage to the ladies, because that is our main purpose of setting up the Asli Co. We want to bring as many job opportunities and work opportunities to the ladies as possible, and balancing that initially was a very hard task. So for the first year itself, we took no salaries or wages ourselves to get the business going. And for the second year, I think we paid ourselves very little as well to get it going. But now in the second and a half year, I think we're now on track to making a good profit, plus also be able to pay our ladies very handsomely for their work. So I have a heartwarming story to share from Ayu.
Please do. Please
Yeah,
do.
she is a dedicated mom of two boys from Kampong Orang Asli, Ulu Kuang, and she can now easily earn about 2,000 ringgit a month sewing face masks from home, and also our eye pillows, which are really, really good for relaxation. So she tells us her story about how she normally sews around 3 hours before her kids wake up in the morning, and also another 3 hours after dinner when all of them have gone to sleep and she's done with all the housework. And so she's very hardworking, and she says that the work that we've given her has tremendously changed her life, because it's nearly impossible for her to find a job which with this much flexibility, where she can prioritize her children and her home and her family first, and also make that income from the comforts of her home. If she were to find a job outside, it would be paying minimum wage, and she has to travel and be away from her family. That's what she does not want. So I'm really happy that she's very happy, and we work very hard to ensure that we can give more of this opportunity to more ladies that are needing this.
And, when you hear stories like this, how do you feel about, you've given up your job and focused all your attention on this? How do you feel?
Sorry, come again?
I said, how do you feel, seeing that, you have helped make this happen, you and Jason?
I think it is the best thing that I've done in my life. That's why I didn't know why it took so long for me to do this, but now that we've started this, I wanted to go on forever.
So that sustainability going on for you, aside from the communities themselves wanting it, you have that energy and drive to do it. How many communities are you working with right now, Orang Asli communities?
So far, we are working with 6 villages, 5 in Selangor and 1 in Perak. So there are Kampung Orang Asli Serenda, Kampung Orang Asli Hulu Kuang, Kampung Orang Asli Sungai Buloh, Bukit Chiding, and also in Perak is Sungai Rasau.
Okay, and how many families? Is it a whole community thing, or do you have a specific number of families in each one?
Oh, so we've trained about 42 ladies so far, and about 25 of them are actively working with us. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And so how has this enterprise, I can see how it would be benefiting the women who are partnering with you this, but how has it impacted the community itself? Aside, of course, from the material benefits to the families, what about the spirit of the communities? Has there been a difference in the way they function, they see things as a result of this independence?
I would say that the the families are very receptive towards mothers being able to help with the livelihood of the household income, because if it's one breadwinner at home, it's really tough, and having them enjoy their work while also bringing in more income is definitely welcome by husbands, by also family members. And so far, all of the husbands that are working with our mothers are very receptive. They usually help out as well, because it's at home, and they would help out. They will help cut things, tie things, or move things for the ladies, and it's like a team effort.
That's really great to know, yeah. And so, do you have any other plans moving forward? You've got your sort of stable of products now. Do you have any plans to expand your product offerings as we move along?
So we do definitely want to work with more ladies, and that may mean that we have to come up with more products, or also to come up with newer items that we can train them and teach them in. Um, so far, we have a few plans in coming up with some secret product. So I can't share it yet. So, but please look out on our website and on our Shopee store. They'll be coming to you shortly.
So this has worked out to be a successful and satisfying sort of model for social enterprise, both for you and Jason, as well as for the communities that are involved in it. And Ed, that heartwarming story about, them earning an income now of 2,000, which is pretty good money. Yeah? Are there any plans for you to take this model outside of the Orang Asli community to other communities that are in need?
To be honest, I think so far we haven't looked into other underprivileged communities, because I feel there are still many communities in the Orang Asli villages that we can work with. So we are aiming to work with more ladies in the Orang Asli villages and bring work to them. So I do have another story from Mui Banjer, who is also working with us, and I want to be able to reach more mothers like her. So she is a mom with 5 kids, and she works really hard to send her kids to a Chinese school, even though she's Orang Asli, because she believes, this is what she told me, she believes that in Chinese school, the teachers teach math really well, and the teachers would punish the kids if they don't do well in school. So she believes that she wants to send them all to Chinese school, but that would mean higher expenses, and that it's further away from the village. But she's very dedicated. She would send them to school via the motorcycle every day, and work really hard with us to ensure she can purchase the Chinese school workbooks and extra materials that is needed for her daughter and son to be in Chinese school. So for me, I think I want to work with more mothers who are willing to sacrifice and also work hard to give their best to their children. So I think no, the answer is no, not other communities yet. We will continue to our work in the Orang Asli communities and bring more work to ladies.
That's a good thing to do, actually, to just focus there and build up that community before you move on. Having said that, you and Jason personally might not want to be moving out, but are you willing to work with other interested parties to maybe develop social enterprises for other organizations, other communities, as in sort of help with the conceptualizing and idea generation, marketing, and then show them the model, and let them take it off on their own?
Oh yes, definitely. We encourage everyone to look into starting their own social enterprises, and I think it's not easy to start any business. Moreover, a social enterprise, but I think the rewards are definitely worth it, and we are open to working with any parties who would like our help to develop social enterprises, and yeah.
And what advice do you have to give those who actually contemplate? Because at this time, I think something that the pandemic has done, Xin, is to stir up our conscience. Many of us, we're looking at us sitting safe and sound in our homes with enough to eat and all that. But there's so many stories about people who don't have food, families where, if parents have lost their jobs, there's no income coming in. So if there are people out there who maybe individually are not as brave as you and Jason to start something like this, but who would like to maybe pull their resources together to start something like this, what are some of the things they need to think about or look at?
Um, I would say just start small. I mean, the both of us started small as well. We just did it as our side hustle for over a year. I did not quit my job until 2020. So we were working on it for over a year before we actually made it a serious endeavor. But starting small helps, and every step that you take, just baby steps, would help bring you closer to your dream. So in the beginning, when I said, 100 to 150 ringgit was something that we could afford, but to date, 2.5 years later, we have paid out to our ladies over 108,000 ringgit. And this was an amount that two of us could not even dream of donating in a matter of 2 years. And especially in 2020 during the pandemic, I think as a business, we spent over 300,000 to provide raw materials, equipment, training, and wages to the Orang Asli ladies, and that is something amazing. And that and having a sustainable business is the rewards of just starting small and believing that you can do good.
Yeah, I think so. I think that I like that attitude because I think sometimes when people say, "I'm good at make a difference," they think about it so big that they want to change the world, and then it just overwhelms you, and you think, "No, I can't do this. It's too big." So I think what you did, your advice, it's so sound, as in start somewhere small, one corner of the world where you can make a difference, maybe one person at a time, one
Yeah.
family at a time, and then slowly expand it when you have the resources and the willingness from other parties to come in and assist you with that. I think that's great sharings and great advice that you've given our listeners out there. Now, I just have one more question actually, in the sense of how can we support you? How can we, your listeners, your audience, support the Asli Co? What would you like us to do more of?
Um, Definitely support the products of our very tenacious, hardworking ladies. They put a lot of effort, a lot of heart, and hard work into making our products. So consider choosing to buy from us when you're looking for gifts, or even to use them on your own daily usage for our soaps and also our sanitizers. So supporting their products mean putting more food on their tables. So I think that would be an amazing thing that you guys can do for us. And I guess I want to also thank you so much. Thank you to the friends and family and other social enterprises who believed in us in our journey so far, and also all the customers who have bought from us so far. I'm very, very happy that you guys have chose to support us, and I think this is a dream come true for me.
Yeah, well, amazing. That's great. You've heard what Xin has to say. For those of you who are looking for a gift, okay, Christmas, well, about 5 months away, not that long. So birthdays, special occasions, if you're looking for any of those gifts, go to the Asli Co, their website, and pick a gift from there, because you're not just supporting a social enterprise, you are actually helping to elevate the lifestyles of the Orang Asli mothers who are making these products so lovingly and painstaking. And that is some way that you can contribute. Not all of us can go and set up a social enterprise. Not all of us can go into community, especially at a time like this when there's so much of fear of going out and meeting people. We've got paranoia about that. But going online and ordering things That doesn't take any effort. And a lot of us are, buying things online, shopping anyway from Lazada and the like. And so again, if you want to start something that's sustainable, start it small and slowly build it up. I think you've got to enjoy the process, Yasin, and not get to be so stressed out about what you can't do, but rather focus on what you can do and enjoy that. Any last final words to our audience?
I guess I would just say that every purchase you make, you can support a mother's purchase for necessities for their children. They're purchasing mobile data for their children to study on the mobile phones now that there's lockdown. They're also putting food on the tables when the husbands lose their jobs due to MCO and lockdown. Visit our Shopee shop and purchase from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zen. So every product you buy from the Asli Co is helping some mother out there in the community to build a dream for her child.
Yes.
And on that note, I would like to thank you, Zin, for joining us today and for giving us an insight not only in the Asli Co and what it does, but also in how each and every one of us can contribute in one way or another towards underprivileged communities, in this case, the Asli Co. You have been listening to me, Sheila Singham, talk to Xin Yu, the one co-founder of the Asli Co on the Sheila Exchange. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sin, for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Sheila.